Hey there! Welcome to the first episode of Legally Speaking with RTC, a podcast where we talk about law, constitution, politics, trending news, and much more. For our first episode, we have Adv.Abhay Chitravanshi, who is a renowned criminal lawyer from Delhi, India, and he is joining in to talk about Bharat versus India. Can India change into Bharat? And we will give you the ultimate verdict. Can India really change its name to Bharat? So, without further ado, let's dive in.
Can India be actually reached? Today we are going to discuss about this. So this political controversy actually emerged when the G20 Summit dinners came back, and Prime Minister of Bharat instead of Prime Minister of India, and then when the G20 that was happening in Delhi, the nameplate of Narendra Modi ji was addressed as Bharat instead of India. So there are a lot of political implications and talk going over social media and over TV that whether India can actually be renamed into Bharat. So what do you think about this? Like, why this controversy has gone way out of hand?
See, I don't think I would want to comment on the sentiments of people, but then insofar as renaming of India as Bharat is concerned, I think it's already India. Like if you look at the Article 1 of Constitution, it already says India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. And then when you look at the Hindi translation of it, the Hindi version, India hai, Rajyon ka Sangh hoga. So it's only a matter of your own choice, your own volition.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter if you pronounce it as India or Bharat, because ultimately works of how they want to address the country. So, and like before it actually was shown in the G20 as Bharat, there was a private member bill also which was tabled by Rajya Sabha MP from the ruling party only, which proposed to change the name from India to Bharat officially as well. So it is only the controversy right now is only with regard to deletion of the name India from the constitution and not officially adopting Bharat as its name, because officially it's already Bharat.
Like if you see, like in Hindi we say it Bharat and then in English it's India. So what is the point, like making it into two things?
And yes, the government can very well delete the name India. It's not about changing because you keep on saying changing. It's not about changing the name because it's very much there. India and Bharat both are very much there. It's about deletion of India from the official category of names.
Yeah, that's true. There was a study which people were discussing about that it might take actually around rupees 14,000 crores to change everything, like in our passports and Aadhar card, everywhere we have India. So if they want to change it to Bharat, according to a formula which was given by
Denver Oliver.
Mr. Oliver. Mr. Oliver.
So Denver Oliver from South Africa.
So
he's an IP lawyer.
They had said that it would take around 14,000 crores. So on one side we know that India and Bharat are the same, but on the other side the ruling party, they are trying to promote this name Bharat because the opposition party has formed a name called India. So what do you have to say about this?
I think this entire controversy erupted only when all of the 28 opposition parties came to an inclusive alliance, and then all of a sudden we saw the Honorable Prime Minister also using the name Bharat instead of India, which he had used last year at the same forum, G20. The institutions and various their businesses as well. Indian Railways, there's Bharatiya Railways. There's like Chief Justice of India, and then there's Mukhya Nyayadhish. Which language or which word would you want to prefer?
So as we speak about the name India, so the Indian name, as we know, it was there are some supporters of the name Bharat, like BJP, from the BJP party and other political leaders. They say that India is a name which was brought up by British colonizers. But do you think it was a British name given, or does this have another history, like the name India?
It has its own legacy and history. So this dates back to the ancient history. Even I think it even predates ancient history. Um,
Yeah,
we had Sindhu River, which originates from Tibet, and then it ultimately flows from Indian occupied Kashmir, and then ultimately gets merged with the Arabian Sea in Karachi,
yeah, yeah,
Pakistan.
yeah.
So that's how, like, people from the western side of Hindu, this
Mm,
Sindhu River, were called Sindhu, like they were called Sindhu. And
mm,
when the name ultimately reached Persians, so Persians had some difficulty in pronouncing of S, like they had this, they could not pronounce S. That's how it became
mm.
Hindu. So,
Yes.
irrespective of the religion, because religion had not dominated the land at that time, irrespective of the religion, all of those living on the downside of Sindhu River were called Hindus because the name
Mm.
originating from Sindhu.
Yeah.
And then when ultimately it reached Greek, so Greek in Greek language, the
Mm.
word H is silent. So
Yeah.
they started calling it Indu, and then that's
Yeah.
how, when it was borrowed and ultimately got incorporated in English language, it became Inde
Yeah.
and India.
Yeah.
So, and then that's how people have always known it. It's not as
Mm.
if it was given by the Britishers. Even before Britishers, also it was known as India to the outside world. So it's
Mm.
sort of that. Like you can the analogy could also be that how we give nicknames within a household, and then when you go out, there's a name which is known to the outside world, right?
Yeah.
So you would better be willing to be identified in your household by your nickname. But then when you go out, you have a proper official name.
Yeah.
So that's how I think it works. But then Bharat is always like, if you were to ask me what is my choice, I would say I would prefer Bharat, but then I would not have any problem with someone who calls
Mm.
it India, because
Yeah.
India has its own legacy and brand value.
Yeah, because everyone knows India like internationally.
Right,
They know
right.
Bharat because it's
They
from the
know they know of Indian spices, they know of Indian cotton, they know
yeah,
of other various products being
yeah,
exported by India. So
yeah,
it will
yeah,
be difficult, even if the name is suddenly changed to Bharat, it will be difficult for the outside world also to be able to provide that kind of recognition and acceptance so early in time.
mm,
And as I said, there's no bar in constitution or otherwise in law to
mm,
call it India or Bharat, as the case may be. There won't be any issue, I
yeah.
believe.
So probably like this was there was some news coming up related to this controversy that the session which is going on right now from September 18 to 22, that this issue is going to be discussed. Like I
I think
don't
it's
think
already been debunked by the Union Cabinet Minister. Mr. Anurag Thakur also gave that
okay.
statement. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I think if news reports were to be believed, Prime Minister Modi also told his cabinet colleagues and members of
Mm,
the party that you should not flare this controversy up. Let it be.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be discussed in the parliament anytime soon.
So yeah, like I didn't get that information. So um, probably this was just a controversy that gained a lot of attention, and people are going to be like taking it the way they want, like India, Bharat. Everyone uses both the names for official or unofficial purposes. And
Like
there
if
was,
you see,
yeah,
like, we are the only nation in the entire world which has an ocean to its credit. Like, there's Indian Ocean.
yes.
And then if suddenly you were to change the name to Bharat, what would happen to that Indian Ocean, right? Like, it belongs to us. Even by the very name itself, it belongs to us.
They have to change internationally
They have
everything, like
they
Indian
have to change
Ocean.
internationally also. And then recently, if again reports were to be believed, Pakistan also laid its claim on the name India, because Jinnah, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, at the time of partition, he wanted to have this name India. Like,
Ah,
and then there's a very famous journalist, Sadia Siddiqui, if I'm not wrong. She also said very recently only that if India were to give up its name at international forum, then we would take it. any day. So, like, why would we want to give the name to our
Yeah.
closest enemy like
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
just at the stroke of a pen? Like, why would we want that?
There were reports also that the opposition party said that we have named our party India, so that's why BJP is trying to name it Bharat. If we take the name Bharat, will they change it to Hindustan? Like this continue happening again and again. But yeah, this is what politics is all about. So yeah, I think this was a very informative podcast. We got to know a lot about what the controversy is exactly about and what are the origins of the name India and Bharat. Both have their ancient history on its
Own
own, and
significance.
it's not all about like Britishers gave the name. Like there have been so many states and cities that are being renamed now, which were like given by the Britishers. Like Aurangabad was recently renamed.
Allahabad, Prayagraj.
Yeah, so all these things, I think that is somewhat more logical also because the Britishers had given those names and now they're changing it. But at a national level, I think it's pretty difficult to actually apply.
No, even logically, when you see this, like, suppose that the name of the country is India, is Bharat, for example.
Mm.
So the further you move away from India to the Western Hemisphere, you would see the pronunciation changes.
Mm.
People may want to call it Bharat also. Some would
Yeah,
call it Bharata.
yeah,
Others would just remove B, or maybe B would become silent again, and then it will be Bharata.
yeah,
So, and then ultimately you would want to come back again to change the name to something else, which would
yeah,
suit your agenda ultimately.
yeah,
So I think it's very well established, and even at that time also, if you look at the constitutional debate, this was very
Mm.
much debated, discussed, and deliberated by the members of the Constituent Assembly. Everyone proposed. I think
Mm.
there were a couple of names. Bharatavarsha was there, Bharat Bhumi, Bharata. Some people said that it should be
Mm.
India, that is Bharata. Some
Mm.
said it should be Bharat, that is India in a foreign language, or in
Mm.
English for that matter. But
Yeah.
then ultimately, I think looking at the legacy and how it came to be developed, India also as a name, and
Yeah.
taking into account the cultural ethos and our own significance, cultural significance,
Mm.
I think Bharat and India came together, and then that's how we got this beautiful name in Article 1 of the Constitution, India, that is Bharat. And in Hindi version of it, it's Bharat, jo ki India hai. So it's very much the
Yes.
same thing only.
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you so much for joining on our first
Thank you for
episode,
inviting me.
and
Thank you so much.
I hope this was a very insightful
No, it was a
conversation.
pleasure talking to you. I'm glad that you
Yes,
invited
same
me
here,
over for
same
this
here.
episode.
So,
And thank you.
yeah, so we hope that we will see you more with more such topics and
Definitely.
coming up episodes. And yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Can India be actually reached? Today we are going to discuss about this. So this political controversy actually emerged when the G20 Summit dinners came back, like and Prime Minister of Bharat instead of Prime Minister of India, and then when the G20 that was happening in Delhi, the nameplate of Narendra Modi ji was addressed as Bharat instead of India. So there are a lot of political implications and talk going over social media and over TV that whether India can actually be renamed into Bharat. So what do you think about this? Like why this controversy has gone way out of hand?
See, I don't think I would want to comment on the sentiments of people, but then insofar as renaming of India as Bharat is concerned, I think it's already India. Like, if you look at the Article 1 of Constitution, it already says India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. And then when you look at the Hindi translation of it, the Hindi version, India hai, राज्यों का संघ होगा. So it's only a matter of your own choice, your own volition.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter if you pronounce it as India or Bharat, because ultimately, what's how they want to address. the country. So,
Yeah.
and like before it actually was shown in the G20 as Bharat, there was a private member bill also, which was tabled by Rajya Sabha MP from the ruling party only, which proposed to change the name from India to Bharat officially as well. So it is only the
Yeah.
controversy right now is only with regard to deletion of the name India from the constitution and not officially adopting Bharat as its name, because officially it's already Bharat.
Like if you see